Hello and welcome to ELEM 416. We're going to talk about our week 3 assignments right now. So just to get you going, especially since I'm posting this while I'm in Vegas, so that way you have an idea what to expect. So the week 3 assignments that you're going to have to deal with this week. It's kind of a light week, but not quite, depending on your point of view. Remember, we're going to meet in person at the Bakersfield campus. My goal is to start at 5 and get you out of there hopefully no later than 7. So that way you can still enjoy your evening, but just know that we are going to be on campus. If there's any issues that for some reason you cannot make it, let me know. We can still do a Zoom or something like that. I do have one person that has to do a Zoom because they aren't actually in town, so that makes it perfectly easy that we can do stuff like that, but we just need to communicate with me in advance. Please bring your 5-word problems to class so we can work on them. And we're going to work on them as individuals. So you're going to do some word problems. I'm going to do some word problems. We're all going to do some word problems, and we're going to look at how we solve it. So if you need copies to be made for the students to work on, let me know. I've got the ability to make copies ahead of time. Make sure we have everything. So again, that means completing the assignment from week 2. The 5-word problems, so that way if you give me the file, I can make copies for everybody in the class, and that way we can all get it done. But don't wait till the last second. If you tell me like 4 o'clock on Thursday, I probably won't be able to do that. But if you give it to me like the day before, say, hey, I need copies of this because you can't make it yourself, I will help you out with that. So our basically 2 assignments of the week. You have a word problem analysis, which is what we're going to be doing in class, and then a discussion board post. Okay, so just typically every week our discussion board post, make sure you set up your post to be before Thursday at midnight, so that way people have a couple days to respond by Sunday at midnight. But let's look at the word problem analysis, just so you have an idea what to expect with this. Okay, so the word problem analysis, your goal is to find 2 or more children at or close to the grade level of your word problems. And you want them to try them out. Now, we as adults are going to try them out, but you want to see how kids are reacting to it. It gives you an idea how they're going to solve problems in their own mind. Okay? So again, we can look at the difference between how adults solve it and kids solve it. And again, it depends on the grade level that you chose. Again, you could pick 1st grade, you could pick 4th grade, 6th grade, it's up to you. Okay? Because we're meeting in class, this gives us an opportunity to go through that. And then it gives you an opportunity also to compare how a young student will look at the problem versus an older student. Okay, so very, very important that we look at those 2 things. What you'll do is after we do the stuff in class, we solve the problems, you're going to take your problems back, and so that way you get a chance to see how people solved it. You hopefully will have a child that solves it, and what you're going to screencast is you're going to make a video, reflect on how you solved the problem, and then how did the students, including the adults, respond to your word problems. Okay? It shouldn't be a long video. Our goal is to analyze what happened. Did you see differences? Did you see that people solved it one way and that was it? And that's perfectly fine. Or did you see somebody take multiple ways of looking at it and looking at that work? Okay? So you should be asking your questions, what surprised you about what your students did? Did we even get the right answers? That's always a big thing. So that's something to consider when you're doing when your reflection on this. So what you're going to do is you'll post your screencast, on Brightspace. Make sure you have the work that the people did. Don't have to put names or anything like that. But that way I could see that you've analyzed what you got and it matches up with your screencast of your reflection. As long as you do that, you'll be perfectly fine. And then, of course, doing your discussion board post, and we'll be all set for the week. So Thursday is kind of a nice day where we can really go into what to expect. And then that way, hopefully, you can get the screencast done real quickly after that. If you got any questions, make sure you reach out to me. That way I can help you out with it before it gets to the end of the week.